Okay. See here, the last class what we have discussed, it is about informal design guidelines. Okay. So there are 4 informal design guidelines, 10 marks of question, 2.5 marks each. You need to describe in details with example. Okay. Please remember the guidelines. The first guideline is semantics of relation attributes, that will describe about the actual meaning of the attribute. Whenever you are giving attribute name, give proper name so that other users or any other database query writer, they will understand what is the purpose this attribute names has been added. Okay. Second one is redundant information. We should not add any duplicate information to avoid some anomalies. There are 3 kinds of anomalies: insert, then delete, and then modification anomalies. They are under update anomalies. Okay. So if I say how many update anomalies, there are 3 kinds of update anomalies. One is insertion anomalies, one is deletion anomalies, and one is modification anomalies. So 3 types of anomalies that usually seen. So that will be resolved by this approach. Okay. Normalization approach. Next, coming to null values. Null values means you should not add more null values in a tuple, because these are the wastage. Okay. So if you don't know the actual attribute value, then better don't add that attribute. Okay. Then coming to spurious tuples. Spurious tuple says what? Joining up more than 2 tuples must give, okay, the records that must come from what? The cross join operations or equijoin operation. There should not be extra tuple, okay, after joining operation, or there should not be less than the actual number of joining tuples. Okay. So these are called what is reduce what is that? Spurious tuple. So these things I'll cover. Last class I told in details what is this, the first line, what is that, uh, the first guideline, that is semantic of relational, that is already covered. The second one I'm moving. Okay. That is related to your anomalies. Now see here, this is guideline 2. Okay. Okay, I'm maximizing this. Okay. Okay, so this is redundant information in tuples and update anomalies. This is guideline 2. Okay, so this is guideline 2 uh, in details. Okay. So what is the meaning of this here? Mixing attributes of multiple entries may cause problems. Okay. Then information is stored redundantly, that is wasting of space. Then problems with update anomalies. Just now I told there are 3 kinds of update anomalies: insertion, deletion, and modification. Okay. So this problem we'll discuss with many examples. Okay. So now coming here, you can see here there are 3 tables given here. One is if you don't understand, I'll explain another 3 examples are there, but concentrate. First listen what is the meaning of the redundancy and what is the meaning of what anomalies. So this is a given table. Okay. So the first table name is employee department, the second table name is employee project. First try to understand what is redundancy. Okay, 2 tables. So what is redundancy here? See, in the employee department, how many attributes have added? Have added here e name, employee name, SSN, social security number, birth date, address, department number, then D name and D manager SSN. Now see here, these 2 attributes are coming from department table. And see here, how many redundant rows are there? Research 333, 555. Okay, so how many times here this row? Research 333, 555. First row, second row, and then this one is what? 5th row and 6th row. Okay, so 4 times I have mentioned. Forget for certain some time you don't have this information. It means what? For these particular 2 attributes, D name and D MGR SSN, research and this value, again research the same value, then research the same value again 333, then research and like that 333. So 4 times we have mentioned. So this is what is called redundancy. Similarly, you can see in this example, where is the redundancy? You can see in this employee name, how many times we have mentioned Smith? Forget about this thing. So you concentrate what is duplicative. Okay, duplication. Smith John B, Smith John B 2 times. Okay, then also this Wong and Franklin, how many times? 3 times. Then again Jela, Alicia, and something here, Jela, Alicia 2 times. Wallace and Wallace 2 times. Okay, and again English. Okay, 2 times. So these are called redundancy. We need to avoid this one. So how to avoid? There is some solutions are the decomposition. We need to keep this. You have to form, okay, 2 different tables from this table. Okay, our original. For sometimes you forget, you don't know about any relationship. For sometimes you forget that the two tables are joining and giving something. Okay, for sometimes you remember only that this is the information we want to keep. Okay, what is the information we want to keep? In an employee project, some employees information along with the project's information we want to keep. But if we are keeping employee information and project information in a table, we are seeing what employee name is repeating, as well as the project name and locations also repeating. Similarly, if you want to keep this employee department information, you can see here the department names are also keeping. So that's why if I ask what is the solution is definitely will be decomposition. You keep employee table in one, you keep employee information in one table, and you keep department name and information in one table. Then you link this thing with foreign key so that this duplicate will be what is that removed. Okay, so we only keep this research and this thing only one row, then we'll link with this department number 5. So this thing already you know, that's why you must understand easily. Okay, but for sometimes you forget that you don't know anything, we want to keep this information employee department in one place, then we are facing this redundancy problem. We want to keep employee project in one place in one table, then we are facing this redundancy problem. Okay, then coming to the next slide, examples. And what is this update anomalies? Okay, now see here, under update anomalies we will cover 3 anomalies: insertion, under deletion, and then modification. Okay, so now see what is this update. First definitions here: changing the name of the project number. Okay, so first actually this is because we are seeing here changing. Actually it is under update anomaly. The first anomaly we are covering now, it is modification anomalies. Okay, it is under update anomaly, and since update and modification are same name, so usually modification anomalies is also called update anomalies. Again I'm repeating, the first slide I have shown you update anomalies are 3 kinds: insertion, deletion, and modification. But since modification and update are usually the same acronym, so that's why the update anomaly, whenever saying, it is nothing but the modification anomalies. Okay, so what is this modification anomalies? Consider this relation employee project. Okay, just now the previous slide we have shown employee number we are keeping, project number has symbol stands for number, project number we are keeping, employee name we are keeping, project name we are keeping, and number of hours we are also keeping. Now what is this anomaly says? If we change the name of the project, now see here, change of the project means name of the project under project name. Let already 3 project names are there. Okay, if I change any of the name, then ultimately, for example here, let there was given one product X was there, the project name was there. We want to change this project name product X, okay, to billing modification. Then what will happen in that exactly the same row? See here, let the first row initially contain product X. The first row also contain employee number 1, project number 1, employee name, for example, let E1, project names product X, number of hours let 40. So now if I change this billing, okay, product X to billing, then ultimately we need to change the employee number 1 to some other, then project number 1 to some other, then employee name also from N1 to some other, completely one row we need to change. This is not desired. We want only change product X to billing. Okay, initially one employee, let I am one of the employee, 448 my number. I have been assigned with the project product X. Late, after some time, the product X name is changed. That does not mean my assignment is changed. But as per the table concept, if we are changing the billing, the name, we also need to change the details. It means what? Instead of 448, we need to keep something 449 or some other value. Ultimately, how it is affecting? It means what? My organization, by changing my employee number also. So, but this is not possible in real world. Okay, in real world, once a employee number is assigned, until unless the employee is not what is that, resigned, this employee number should not be changed. Okay, but here in this table, whenever we are keeping the information, we are changing product X to billing, and ultimately it is saying you also change employee number, but which is not desirable. So this is modification anomalies under update anomaly, the first anomalies. Coming to the second example, you can see what is insert and the same thing. You cannot insert a department. Okay, cannot insert a department unless an employee is assigned to. Same thing, let the insert sorry, employee table, employee department table, it is asked you insert a new department. Okay, let for example in your university a new department is added, data science. Okay, so the anomaly says let you keep the information employee and department in one table. So until unless there is no employee assigned to that data science department, you cannot add that record. But this is not desirable. One department is added, let we are adding, whenever the employee will recruit at that time we'll add the information of employee. But here it is says, this anomaly says, since in one row Not only the details of the employee, but also the details of the department are there. So there is the dependency. You cannot add department until unless there is no employee recruited. So this is the problem with insert anomaly. Similarly, inversely also, now until unless you are not adding, for example, you want to add a new employee, then forcefully you need to add the department also, the details of the department. So this is inserts anomaly if you are keeping employee department in one table. Similarly, what is deletion anomalies? When a department is deleted, for example, department, no students are coming for admission. Okay, let IT, information technology, once to department they want to close. If they want to close the department, then ultimately in that table, okay, let they want to delete, means they removed the department number. Ultimately, how many employees are assigned with them, they are also automatically have to be deleted. Okay, but sometimes they, it means what the meaning says, what the employees are, what is that, resigned, but the employee are not resigned, they moved. Okay, so they move to some other, for example, department. But in particular in that table case, you cannot add or you cannot delete or you cannot update until unless the dependent attribute you are not adding. So these are the problems if you are keeping many information in one table. Okay, in the previous example what I told, if you are keeping employee project in one table, if you are keeping employee department in one table, so in that case we'll face this problem. Okay, so these are the anomalies. I'm coming to another example. Another 3 examples are there, you see here. In this example, I'll explain more on anomalies. Okay, you can see here this normalization PDF. I have not add what is that, uploaded to edit. Okay, but I'll discuss this. Okay. Then after some time, okay, after my class I will update. Now see here, because the question will definitely come, what is insertion, deletion and modification anomalies. Now see here, so these things are necessary for normalization notes, and this note completely covers up to 3 NF. The question will come here, 20 marks of question will be asked. This is 20 pages of PDF. Okay, because many examples are there, but definitely the questions you will get of 20 marks, because this is one of the major portion of database. What is written, I'm reading line by line, please carefully listen. I'll share my videos. What is database design under 4 module, what is normalization, and what are the exercises, and this is covering up to 3 NF. Okay, now here, tables that contain redundant data, just now I told, suffer from update anomalies. Okay, so forget about this normalization part, normalization will cover only, because now I am covering what is that, anomalies. Now see here, in this example, okay, in this example here it is mentioned, in this example you see here, the details of students along with the details of offer we have added. Not only we are keeping only the single information of student, we are also keeping the offer number also. So this is a combination of, in one table we have created, because you are lazy late, I want to keep everything in one table. So that's why not only I'm keeping the student details like student social security number, or you can say student ID number here, student city, the address, student class, along with I'm keeping offer number also. Which offer we have given? Offer means a course offer. Okay, which course has offered. So now offers are 1 or 2, and again this is repeating 2 3 course offers. Then which term, okay, which semester, fall or spring term, then which year, 2006 7, like that, and enrollment grade and course number. Not only this table is keeping the student information, but also it is keeping the offer, course offer, and the course number along with some other attribute. Okay, now here, where is the anomalies? Where is the anomaly? You can see here, maximum time we are telling what is the update anomalies. Remember, it is modification anomalies. Okay, so whenever I'm adding the term update, remember it is a modification anomalies. So first I'm discussing insertion anomaly. Just now I tell what is insertion anomalies, when it will occur, when this problem will occur. This problem will occur when extra data beyond the desired data must be added to the database. For example, let to insert a new course. Okay, so a new course you want to add. So where you will add the new course? You, for example, I want to add course 4. Okay, this is number 3 information are added here, student information, offer information, and course information. I want to add a new course C5. Okay, C1 C2 C3 is there, and to add a new course C4, and the description of the course, let for example database management system. So if I want to add C4, then remember in that row we need to also add the details of the student, we also need to add the details of the offer. Because of these anomalies, until unless there is no student and there is no offer for that particular course or the new course C4, you cannot add a row. So this is anomalies, or this anomalies is called insertion anomalies. Similarly, what is update anomalies? It occurs when it is necessary to change multiple rows to modify only a single fact. You can see this example. If we change the student class, okay, modification of student S1 June, for example, this one. Okay, I want to change this June to some other. If I want to change this June, then definitely let June is replaced by July. Then here, particularly for this June, okay. So how many row it will be affected? It will be affected 2 rows, okay, for particular student S1, okay. Only a single fact. It is see here, it is mentioned for a single fact. Let the single fact is what is that? Student S1. Then if we change the student class of student S1, 2 rows, row 1 and row 2 must be changed. If S1, for particularly for this S1, okay, if S1 is added 10 times, if S1 is added 10 times, then ultimately 10 rows we need to be changed. If S1 is added, S1 June is added for 100 times, then I want to change June to July, then 100 rows you need to change from June to July. Okay, so this is the problem in update anomalies. Next, coming to deletion anomaly, same thing. If you delete something, now I want to delete enrollment grade for S2. Okay, this one I want to delete. Okay, let enrollment for S2 is this one. If I want to delete this 3.1, then what will happen? Not only this part will be deleted, but also you have to delete these details of the student S2, and also you need to delete this offer number, because offer number is associated. Though offer number tells what is offer, what offer is what O3, and this is a spring offer, okay. But you need to add offer, usually not associated with course, but since we are keeping this thing in a table, in a row, so if I delete this 3.1, okay, then obviously C3 will be deleted, but also it is affecting to the left side, that is offer number, and also it affecting to the more left side, S2. So these are the problem we are usually facing if we are keeping many information in a single table. Not only redundant problem, but also this anomalies problem. Another example you can see under insertion and deletion and modification anomalies. Okay, now here in this table, staff branch table. Okay, now here in this tab, this table not only keeping the details of the staff, but also it is keeping the details of the branch in a single table. I want to add a staff, for example S0416, a new staff came. Okay, so if you will depend, this is insertion anomaly, you cannot add a new staff until unless you are not adding a branch associated for that staff. Similarly, you cannot add a new branch until unless you are not adding a staff for them. Okay, so this is the problem with insertion anomalies. Similarly, for update anomaly or modification anomalies, whenever, for example, I want to change the branch address for a branch number B Jeffer, for example, B Jefferson way, then what is this anomalies as update anomalies? Whenever there is B001, not only one row, you also change this B Jeffer one. You also, whenever let 100 rows are there, B Jefferson, then that 100 row, that 100 column must be updated with some new values. Okay. Similarly, for example, if you want to delete this 16, or for example, last two I want to delete B003 branch, I want to delete this one. Then ultimately you need to delete this staff also, which is not required. Why you will delete staff? So that's why always keep staff in separate. Okay, then you assign some other branch number. Okay, so this is the problem. See here, staff. So this is individual table. So the solution for this whole table will be, you say create a separate table for staff and create separate table for branch. If there is a relation, then you can add a new attribute, for example, branch number. Okay, so no many details will be added. Now see here, if I want the same example, here in this case, if I want to delete B003, how many things we are deleting? We are deleting Art Peters, manager, 41,000, then 8th Avenue, 212, this one is deleting. But if I decompose this thing, then we are keeping for 4015, S0415 only B003. Then if I will delete this 8th Avenue from this, or B003 from this, then only this row will be deleted. This will not delete this thing. Remember it, because these two are independent tables. But if we are keeping in one table, then because we are keeping all information in one row, okay, it's association. Then if you are, you cannot what is that, from a single row you cannot fill this with null. Null is not desired values. Okay, you can say, but null is a replacement, don't replace with null. So that's why so many 3 examples here I told, no attribute contains null values. So this is the reason for anomalies. So this thing I'll share, you study this thing, you will more clear on what insertion, deletion and modification anomalies. Okay, so this is under, if I what this is under which guidelines? This is under guideline 2. Okay, so this is what we are covering. We are covering guideline 2. Okay, what is that guideline 2? The guideline 2 is nothing but what? Redundant information in tuples and update anomalies. Next, coming to guideline 3. Guideline 3 is null values. Okay, so now coming to guideline 3. So this is again more examples, you can go through that slide. So that's why what we covered, this is the guideline 2. What you'll do, design a schema that does not suffer from insertion, deletion and update anomalies. Okay, next coming to guideline 3. So what is guideline 3? It is related to null values in tuples. So guideline 3 says relations should be designed such that,
Sir,
yes.
sir,
Any,
PPT is not visible.
oh, sorry, thank you. Because I have changed. Okay, sorry. Thank you. So now see here, what guideline 2 says now? Now it is visible?
Yes, sir.
Now what I have covered now, update anomalies like that. Now see the statement of the those anomalies, and this covers the guideline 2, that design a schema that does not suffer from insertion, deletion and update anomalies. Okay, 2 guidelines over. Next coming to guideline 3. So what guideline 3 says? Guideline 3 concentrate on null values in tuples. Okay, so you need to write this statement fully. Okay, until this single statement. Okay, so what it says, the relation should be designed such that tuples will have as few null values as possible. Okay, so you should not add more. Okay, you can add 1 to 2 in 100 row, you can add 1 2 null values, but that does not mean from 100 rows the 50 rows are null values, because you don't know many values. So that's why this is not desired. 1 2 also, even it is not desired. Okay, sometimes you can say exceptional case we are adding, but you should not add any null values. Okay, so here, if it is required, frequently could be placed with separately, then some decomposition. If it is always there, something 1 2 are still there, then better you decompose it. Just now I told, if one table you are keeping, one attribute is always address, like for example null value is required. Okay, you cannot completely delete. Some employees let CGPA, the result is not published, then you fill with null values, later we can add. But for that case, you don't keep in a single relation student result, you separate student in one relation, result in other relation. Okay, so that if you delete something, if you insert something, or if you something update something, it will not affect to the student. Okay, so reasons for null: attributes not applicable or invalid, attributes value unknown, and value known to exist but unavailable. These are the reasons for null. So for consideration of these 3 things, we may allow some null values, but provided the condition is what, better keep separate relation. Okay, or separate which field is null, then you keep it in other relations. Okay, so this is guideline 3. Coming to guideline 4. Okay, so this is guideline 4 that concentrate on spurious tuples. So before moving to what the statement of guideline 4, first you need to understand what is spurious tuple. Okay, so now see, there are 2 schemas. One is employee location. Okay, just I already told what is spurious tuples. It is a joining operations problem. Okay, now see here, there are 2 schemas. One is employee location and one is employee project. Okay, so there are 2 relations. If I apply natural join, the result produces many more tuples than the original set of tuples in employee project. Okay, so sometimes, okay, again I'm repeating, remember, in case of natural join of 2 operations, sometimes what happen, the result is producing more tuples than the desired number of tuples. If it is more tuples, then these are called spurious tuples, and those are invalidated. You can see in this example. Employee location is one table, employee project is one table. Okay, so you can see here, employee location has so many data. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. Okay, and employee project one has likewise so many records. Okay, so it's here. Because of, now if I apply some natural join operations, okay, I'll see whether that slide is there or not. Now see here, yes, it is there. So now see here, if I apply the natural join of the previous 2 table, okay, employee location and employee project, then what we are getting, this result. Okay, so many, it's here, dotted is mentioned. Dash line means there are many things are there, many records are there. So the result of applying natural join to the tuples, okay, above the dash lines, okay, in employee project, okay, generated spurious tuples are marked as associates. We have mentioned asterisks, those are spurious tuples. You can see here the second row, I'm maximizing. You can see here why this, where, how many stars are there, these are spurious. Second line stars here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, 1 32.5 product X, and this one, remember, this is coming from the join, natural join. Okay, this is coming from the natural join of 2 operations. How many rows are coming extra? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10 and 11. Okay, Oh, the in the last part of the PPT covers many problem on joining up two tables. How it is generating spurious tables will cover mathematically. Plus, right, because I'm now covering guideline 4, so that's why I'm focusing more on what is that guideline 4. You can see here. Again, I'm repeating. Under here, these two are the original tables. If I apply natural join, okay, so now here if I apply natural join, so how many rows should come? How many rows? For example, Smith, John and Belair, how many row? So here for this Smith, John, so the first row of employee project 1 will come. Then any other, you can see, okay, only one. So for this Smith, John, Belair must come. Okay, so only one row must. Okay, this row also come. 1 2 3 4, fourth row also come. And okay, so two rows. Okay, so I'm focusing on this Smith, John, B, Belair. Then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 32.5 product X and Belair. And likewise Smith, John, B, Belair and something called, where is this fourth row? 4 5 3 4 5 3 again 4 5 3 1 20.0 product X Belair. So you can see now the natural join operation. So these two must come. So first and second must come. It's coming. Then why this one is called, we are telling this as spurious tuples? Because please remember, we sometimes don't require this one. Okay, we sometimes don't require. For this particular example, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 32.5 product X, this Belair and English Jaws A. You can see here what it is showing. Where is that information? How it is getting? Where is that English? You can see here. This information is also coming. We don't want this one. Okay, we don't want this one. Okay, on this natural join, our requirement, as per the requirement, my requirement is what? If you are applying joining operations, okay, or natural join operations, we only require, for example, this social security number for 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 9, this must come, but this is also coming. Okay, so those are not required and coming. These are called spurious tuples. So you should remove these tuples fast. Okay, so in the next slides we'll see more examples. Okay, so this is what guideline for. After joining up any two tables, if we are getting extra tuples, those are not required, are called spurious. So these spurious tuples must be removed. This is told by guideline 4. Okay, so because of functional dependency. Next, what is that? Okay, I'm giving one task to everyone. It's already 9:37, 8 minutes is there. Okay, so the next class will cover. So today I have covered what? Different anomalies and all guidelines for. The next class I'll cover what? Functional dependency and normalization part. Okay, so you have 8 minutes of time. So now I'm giving a task. I'm moving to the notepad. Okay, wait. Okay, you see here how spurious staples you actually affecting. Okay, now see here, there are two relations. Okay, so there are two relation. I'm giving in details, more examples. So let one relation is A, one relation is A. Okay, with attributes. Okay, so let this is a table. Okay, the relation name is A. So let the attributes name is, one is X and one is Y. Okay, now see here how it is affecting. The values are let one, and this is what, let something small a, small a. You can see what is actually a spurious tuple, and this is what, 2 and something, this is called let B. Okay, and then let this one is 3 and this is let C. Okay, let it is B. So this is one uh, table. Okay, another table is what, let B. B is the second table. Okay, so capital B, let this is the second table, and it has two attributes. Let something called, let it has two attributes. Let it is something called M and N. Okay, so I'm adding here. So these M and N are attributes of B. Okay, and the values of M and N are some common attributes I'm keeping here. Let this is what, something called A and small a. Okay, A, and this is let something, let E, let W. Okay, and this is B. Okay, and this is let something called E. Okay, and let this one is C, and this is, let for example, T. Now see here, if I join these two table, okay, if I join these two table, now natural join I'm applying. Okay, so how many you will get? You will get 1A, okay, and AW, one row. Let the joining of two tables is what? Let's see. Okay, let's see is the joining of two tables. Okay, so in the C we'll get all attributes X, Y, M, N. And how many rows you will get? We'll get 1A AW. So I can keep here. Okay, so in C. Okay, so I'm not adding. Okay, I'm adding. One is X, Y, M, N. So X, Y. Now you concentrate your what is spurious tuple. X, Y, M, and N. So this is guideline 4. And now first row must be let the common attribute is 1. So 1 common attribute is A, and this is also A, and this is something called W. Okay. The second row is for this relation, joining of two relations. Similarly, you can see 2 B, B, E. Okay. So this is 2, and this is B, and this is B, and this one is also B. Okay, E. Okay, and finally, and 3, you can see concentrate for 2. Okay, next is what? For 3, the same thing, you will get 3 and something called B. Okay, and this one is called C, and B and E, B and E. Okay, so this is the actual result. This should be given, but let sometimes what happen, let I asked, okay, the C something, let somebody told you insert, let this is a relation, I created this as a relation. Okay, so since this is a relation or this is a table, so I can add one row. Okay, so let I'm adding one row also here. Okay, so this C is a joining of relation, but C is also a table. Okay, so let I'm adding, so let for example I'm adding 4, let something called C, and something here, let it is C, let it is B. Okay, let it is B, and something let B and E, let something D. Now see here, this is extra, this 4B BD is extra. Why? I can insert, because being a table, this is a table, I can insert row, I can insert row, I can insert row. So since being a table, I can insert a row here. But since I already told C is a natural join operations of A and B, then remember, if you add 4 and B BD, whether it is coming from this A and B, no, it is not coming from A and B. Then what about this tuple? C is a joining of A and B. Then how can you add this extra tuple? You cannot add extra tuple. Then what about this tuple? This is a spurious tuple. Okay, so whenever a table is created from joining up two other tables, then you remember you can insert only that record which must come from this. Okay, so that's why. I have not added this one 3BBE. Then if somebody will ask insert a record, then possibility of insertion of record to this table is what? 3BBE. You can only insert this record. You cannot insert this 4BBD. Let somebody has not insert this record. Only 2 records inserted. Now it is inserting 4BB. Okay, it is allowed, but this tuple is spurious. Okay, and also now see here, which tuple is not added? Those 3BBE is not added. So that is also spurious. So remember, so whenever you are creating or inserting a record to a joining of two tables, you can only, this is a dependent table, this is a dependent table, you cannot add as per your requirement. What is that? Any record randomly. Okay, so this is covered in what is that? Guideline 4. Okay, so concentrate and focus. So today's topic, what I covered, go through that. Okay, I will say definitely that one, that PDF part from 20 marks, 25, 30 marks question will be asked from there. Okay, so you concentrate on that and cover, and this anomalies. In the next class we'll see this one. Okay, functional dependencies. Thank you. Share your ID number, and also what I told just now, you write those things also. I'll see whether you are writing or not. This example, this notepad example, everybody write the question, what is spurious table, explain. Okay, everybody write this thing and share to my WhatsApp. Right, only one question, what is spurious tuple, explain with example. Okay, thank you.